Hello everyone. Thank you for
Hope all of you having
tuning
a good
into the
day.
video
Your
for
classes are
today.
going well.
Sorry, could not. We should be back in school tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing everyone and teaching in person again tomorrow. For homework tonight, you have the quiz tomorrow, which originally for today pushed back. So you have a quiz tomorrow on Chapter 7, Section 1. Please be sure to study for that quiz. Use your notes, your homeworks, your worksheet, your key terms, and don't forget to study the map of ancient Greece as well. The quiz tomorrow will probably be a little bit longer than usual. You have all day today to study, so please be sure to do some studying. Okay, for class today, we are going to start off with going over the Chapter 7, Section 1 worksheet. So if you can please take that out, and let's go over that first. And I'm going to jump ahead yesterday. So yesterday I was introducing the Greek city-states to you and what the Greeks referred to their city-state as, a polis. All right, we get our English word political from the Greek word polis. And just to continue with what we were talking about yesterday, each Greek polis was different in the way they conducted political business. Political business is type of government. So just like in our world today, each country has its own government. If you think of England, England has a king or a queen that is in power along with a parliament. We have a democracy. Other countries throughout the world have some form of democracy. There's different economic systems that countries believe in. And just like how each country today has its own government or economic system or political business, that's how each Greek city-state or each Greek polis was. And some Greek city-states were ruled by a king or a queen. Some Greek city-states were ruled by members of an upper class called an aristocracy. Some Greek city-states were ruled by a few people in power called an oligarchy. And then there was Athens that had a democracy, which is a very revolutionary form of government from this time period because it was unheard of for everyone to be part of the same political system. Now, some individuals of Greek city-states formed a tyranny. A tyranny is a political system in which one person has total authority over everyone else within that Greek city-state. Two Greek city-states that we're going to talk about and learn about over the course of the next 2 days, maybe a little bit next week, is Athens and Sparta. All right, those are two Greek city-states that you'll need to know for this chapter. I'll mention some of the other ones, but Athens and Sparta were two of the most powerful Greek city-states from this time period. All right, I'll leave this slide up for a second just so you can copy it down. On the next slide that I have is a map of some of the major Greek city-states and shrines and temples the Greeks built during this time period. You don't have this map, but it just gives you a good picture of where most of the ancient Greeks lived. And that's pick up where we left last week. Most of the early Greek settlements were in the southeastern part of Greece, because that area was closest to the other civilizations that lived in Mesopotamia, in Egypt, and it allowed them to trade with those civilizations. Some Greek city-states were on islands. Some Greek city-states were in Asia Minor. So Greece itself was not just the mainland or the country of Greece today. It consists of the islands. The island of Crete was part of ancient Greece and the Greek city-states. And you can see some of the major temples. Olympia is where they held the Olympic Games every year as well. Moving on to the next slide. Take out your notes. All right, so the Greeks developed this idea of citizenship, which is an idea that Americans and people in our country take pride in today. Most Greek city-states were run by citizens, except for the ones in which tyrants were in charge of. Know that the Greeks were the first ones to develop this idea of citizenship. And in most Greek city-states, people that were considered citizens were people that were free, native-born men, and they owned land. You had to own land. If you didn't own land, then you were not considered a citizen. Okay, you had to own land, which is a little different from our society because all of you are citizens, and if your parents own the property, technically not you. One day all of you will have your own property. Okay, but in ancient Greece, they did not allow immigrants to earn their citizenship. All right, you had to be born in that city-state. So in order to be a citizen of Athens, you had to be born in Athens. And some rights that these Greek citizens had that they took pride in were the ability to vote, which is a privilege that we take great pride in our country, the right to hold office, the right to own property, the right to be innocent until proven guilty. You can defend yourself in court, as well as gather in the agora to choose officials and pass laws. So those are some important rights that Greeks have. And these rights and privileges that Greeks took great pride in, I think it's important for us as Americans to take good pride in that as well, and to understand the root of citizenship begins in ancient Greece. And the roots of people having certain privileges and rights begins in ancient Greece. And we'll talk more about this in class tomorrow. All right, but I'm going to stop the video here. Okay, just a short video today. Hopefully, it doesn't take too much time for you guys to go through, watch, copy down the notes. All right, we'll take more notes tomorrow. And if you heard Elmo in the background, all right, that was my daughter. She loves Elmo. She's been listening to Elmo during the past 2 days. All right, so have a great day. Enjoy your day. Get outside, play in the snow. All right, if mom and dad need help shoveling, help them out. Bye, everyone. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Study for your quiz on Section 1. Bye. All right, to the worksheet. Alrighty, so please have this out and follow along as I go through each question and basically fill in the correct answers for you. That way you have it to study. Okay, so for number 1 on the homework from last night, which you should have submitted by this point, is what were some natural resources that the Greek mainland lacked? Some answers you should have for number 1 is, is number 1, okay, just going to type this, it's a little bit easier, is know that it lacked farmland, precious metals. Right, these answers you could have found in the iBook. Timber and other natural resources. Okay, that's what you should have for number 1. Number 2, where did the Minoan civilization develop? All right, that one should have been a pretty easy answer for you guys there. We went over that a lot on last week, I think, on the island of Crete. You should have yours in complete sentences. Just for the sake of time, I'm writing just the answers down so that way you have them. Number 3, what was the capital and center of the Minoan civilization? All right, for number 3, you should have the city of Knossos was the capital and center of the Minoan civilization. Excellent. Number 4, what were 2 things that the Minoan artwork depicted? All right, you should know that the Minoan artwork depicts their love for sports and that women held a high rank in society. Okay, number 5. All right, you should have for number 5. I'll type the answer over here. Know that bullhorns were a sacred item. Okay, the lily. All right, that was like their sacred flower. The dove, right, or a dove. And there's a number of things you could have. Bullhorns, lily the dove, and the double axe, which was a symbol of power. The palace at Knossos, that 5-story building in the capital city, was actually nicknamed the House of the Double Axe, which symbolized power in the Minoan civilization. So that's the answers to the homework. Is the homework were sacred to the Minoans. On to number 6. All right, where were the Mycenaeans from? All right, so for number 6, you should have they were from the grasslands of Central Asia. Very good. Know that the Mycenaean culture Mycenaean culture formed the core of Greek politics, religion practices, and Greek politics, religious practices, and literature. Alright, number 8, 3 facts about the Trojan War. You could have had a lot of different things. Know that it was fought over a woman named Helen. It took place over 10 years. Okay. Know that the Greeks built a wooden horse to get inside the walls of Troy. There's a lot of different facts you could list. No, Odysseus was the Greek general that came up with the plan to build a wooden horse. Number 9, what were the Dark Ages of ancient Greece? Okay, the Dark Ages of ancient Greece. Know that this was a period of civil war between the Mycenaean kingdoms, as well as a period when the Dorians eventually conquered the Mycenaeans. And there are very little, know that there is very little written records from this time period in ancient Greece. I know that there is very little written records from this time period because few people knew how to read or write. You should have that down. If you're missing anything, you can always go back and watch it. Okay? Now, once you have the homework down, like I said, you could always pause the video at any point to copy down the answers or go back over to listen to what I said.